Welcome to another edition of the Coaches Show with the head football coach of North Carolina A&T, Sean Gibbs. I'm Donald Ware, play-by-play voice for the North Carolina A&T Aggies. Up next for the Aggies, William and Mary. Of course, the game is going to be in Williamsburg, Virginia at Zabel Stadium. It's a 3:30 kickoff. We're coming on with the pregame show at 3 p.m. on 103.5 FM, 1400 AM in Greensboro, the Sirius XM app, and Tobacco Road Sports Radio. The Aggies made it interesting on Saturday, falling to Maine on the road 37-30. At one point, the Aggies were down 30-9, came all the way back, had an opportunity on the last possession to perhaps tie the game or win it. It did not happen, but we'll talk with Coach Gibbs about all of that as he joins us right now on the Coaches Show. How are you, Coach Gibbs?
I'm blessed. How are you?
I'm doing okay. Your thoughts? Falling to Maine, a tough loss on the road to the Black Bears.
Yeah, disappointing. I felt like the guys' fault, though. We had every opportunity to give up or give in, and we didn't. We kept fighting. We found a way to get back in the game, but there are no moral victories. I'm tired of coming up close, almost doing it. So we got to find a way to win games like that.
It's interesting. I want to get back to that, but I want to know your message to the team after the game.
The power of belief. I showed them how hard they played and the intensity and effort they played with once they started to believe that we could win the game. But if we don't go into the game with that type of effort and intensity, then we're going to continue being down or giving up 30 points. And we just can't do that. We gotta believe in our preparation. We got to make sure we're having better weeks of practice, putting in the work, and then Saturday is a reward. So we get to go out there and show all the hard work that we put in, and we believe and know that we're capable of winning. Once we start to operate like that, I think we'll start to have some success.
What is it going to take? Because to your point, you came back in this game, came back against Tennessee State, actually took the lead. But what is it going to take to kind of get off to a faster start?
Well, again, I think it starts in practice. I think it starts in how we do a lot of the stuff that we do. How you do anything is how you do everything. So the way from the way that we warm up before the game, the intensity we do that with, the intensity that we practice with, everything matters. And once we realize everything matters and how important everything is, we'll be able to start fast because that's what we're used to doing. But if we're used to just kind of, going through the motions until this period or that period, or going through the motions until the game starts, then we're going to continue to start slow. So it's on us just as much as it is the players. But we got to understand that we got to start fast.
I don't know. You may not have a pulse right now. You practiced yesterday, off day today, meaning Monday. Do you think that the team, the players would learn from this experience in particular against Maine? Tennessee State was Tennessee State. Maine is fresher in terms of getting off to a faster start in this upcoming game against William and Mary, which is a winnable football game.
Yeah, well, I definitely think some of the players get it. Some of the players understand that, but, it's not about some of the players. It's about all the players. So do all the players get it? We'll find out. We'll find out more tomorrow when we have our first real practice of the week, and we'll see the intensity and the effort and the focus that we practice with. Then I'll be able to tell you more. But, right now I would say, yeah, definitely some of our players, a lot of our players understand that. But do all of them? We'll see.
Getting down 14-0 early. Then you put together a 4-play, 65-yard drive. Wesley Graves gets into the end zone. Speak to that drive and, pulling to within 7 at that point.
Yeah, well, at times we look pretty good offensively. We look efficient. We look like we know what we're doing. When we play on time, we get a hat on the hat, and our runners run with the physicality that they're capable of. We can move the ball on anybody. It's the self-inflicted wounds that hinder us from being as good as we can be. So, yeah, that was my expectation. That's what I expect out of our offense, and I think we can be even better than we've shown. We still haven't played as clean as I would like for us to. And then once we get to that point, because we have enough good players up front. We got enough good receivers. We got good quarterbacks. We got good running backs. And once we all become a cohesive unit and play together, I think we can be a force to be reckoned with.
down 23. Actually, Maine scored a touchdown, went for 2. I don't know how you all felt, how the team felt. To me, it seemed a little disrespectful, just the way the flow of the game, right, to me. And you all are able to, a matter of fact, Trey Mittman runs it back 98 yards to get the 2 points. Talk about that play. Did you feel like it was disrespectful in a way that the Black Bears went for it in the manner in which it seemed like they were doing a bunch of stuff, then ultimately went for the 2-point conversion?
Well, I mean, honestly, I feel like nobody in this conference respects us. So anytime they get a chance to embarrass us or try stuff on us, we're the team that they're going to do it on. You know, I watched some of the CAA press conferences, pregame or whatever on today, and very rarely does the opposing coach even mention A&T, or very rarely does anybody even ask questions about A&T. So we know we're an afterthought. We know we're going to be disrespected, and that's okay because we're going to earn it. But, that's what happens when, sometimes you get disrespectful or you try something at the wrong time, and we're going to make you pay for it. So, thankfully, and really that play was executed wrong. Somebody should have been on the guy that was open, but Trey was right there, and he just made a play. So we didn't even execute that play correctly. But, sometimes that's how it works out. Josh Isaiah got some good pressure and forced the guy to throw the ball early, and Trey was right there to make the play, and he put it in the box.
Speak to the resiliency of this team. I know you're tired of the message, well, we came back. I know moral victories and all that. I understand that. But the team did come back, put itself in position to possibly tie or win the game. And in particular, the 3-and-out on Maine's last drive. You held them to a 3-and-out, getting the ball back. And then in particular also Tyler Howard with that nice play. Did he have an opportunity for a pick six there?
No, I think he made the proper play. He's a true freshman. So for him to be out there in that situation, that's encouraging for the future to get a pass breakup like he did. I think that was one of the few times during the game where he really trusted and believed in his technique, and he was able to execute. But, I went to the defense and told them we needed to get a 3-and-out, and they did. And, I asked Coach Cord, I said, can we get them stopped? He said, absolutely. So, the belief that these coaches have in the players and the belief that a lot of our players have in each other and the coaches is something to build on. We just got to get everybody on board.
Speak to holding the Black Bears to scoreless for 24 minutes and 37 seconds of the second half. Scored one touchdown.
Well, that speaks to what we can do, what we're capable of when we play blue death defense, and stop allowing explosive plays, keep everything in front of us, play with good gap integrity, and run to the football. That's basically what it was. I mean, it wasn't like we changed our entire game plan. We just started executing. And when we do that, we can play some football.
Still to come here on the Coaches Show, Tim Alderman, who's having a superb season and had, matter of fact, 9 tackles, led the Aggies with 9 tackles in the game. Going to join us also Elijah Kennedy, who had an outstanding game, punt return for a touchdown. He had a big 60-yard reception as well. He's going to join us a little bit later on in the program as well. A couple of more thoughts with respect to Maine, and then we'll move on to William and Mary. Kevin White, I want to get your thoughts on his play, the quarterback, 19 of 32, 279 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions in the game.
Yeah, it was pretty productive, but he can play even better than he has. He's starting to use his feet a little more. Just wanted to make sure he's playing with caution and not taking any unnecessary hits from, in the passing game. Just have to improve his fundamentals a little bit so he can be a little bit even more accurate than he was, because we missed on some throws, but he made some great throws too. The touchdown to Dominique Bell, that was Dot, and he put it on him, and Bell made a great play. And, that's what Kevin is capable of doing, but he hadn't scratched the surface of how good he can be. Very few guys on our team have scratched the surface of how good they can really be. So it's really good to see the steady improvement that he's making, and we just hope Well, no, we don't hope, because hope is not a plan. We just know that Kevin's going to get even better this week.
And then his distribution of the football, seven receivers, including you mentioned Bell. I mean, tight ends, using the tight ends, caught passes in this game from Kevin White.
Yeah, I mean, we got a number of guys that can make plays. You got a number of receivers you can throw the ball to. Our tight ends are a matchup problem for anybody. And our running backs can catch the ball. Wesley Graves and JT, they're excellent receivers. So, he's just got to get the ball to the open guy.
The running game. I just want to kind of get your thoughts on the running game. 69 net yards running. I know you're not particularly happy about that.
That's terrible. Our identity is stopping the run and being able to run the football, and we really have not been able to do that all year. So it's about us getting a hat on a hat, playing with good fundamentals, and our runners making plays, not getting tackled one-on-one. And when we can get all that to come together, we'll be able to have some success. But for this team to win the way we want to win and to be able to win games like that, and, something that also contributes sometimes to our defense is that they're on the field too fast, because we're not able to run the football and take time off the clock and give those guys time to rest. So that's part of playing complementary football. Running the football is not only effective in taking the wheel of the opposing defense, but it's also effective in giving our defense time to rest. So we got to make steady improvement in our run game, because that's not A&T football. We've always been able to run it.
Before we get to William and Mary, I just want to kind of get your thoughts. What is the message going to be this week to your players in practice as you prepare for the Tribe? And then is there anything different from a practice perspective that you may do this week?
From the structure of practice, it'll remain the same. The emphasis of practice is we got to prepare to win. We're not just preparing to go up there and play. We got to prepare to win. And that means practicing with the intensity and effort that's required to win, making sure that we're putting in the extra work in the film room, making sure we're putting in the extra work in the weight room, and just getting prepared all the way around. Like I said, the will to win is not nearly as important as the will to prepare to win. So that's what we got to do. We got to prepare to win.
As mentioned, William and Mary's coming off the 31-24 loss to Villanova. Your thoughts on what you've seen or what you saw, at least in that game from the Tribe?
Yeah, well, Villanova is a really good team, and William and Mary took them into deep waters. They just weren't able to finish the game. They're a good football team. They got a national championship coach and Coach London. Got good players, big and fast and athletic. Got a dual-threat quarterback that, like I said, he's going to probably keep Coach Jones up a little extra this week. But, it's a tremendous challenge, just like every week is going to be in the CAA. All these teams are pretty good. So, it's not about William and Mary. It's still about North Carolina A&T taking us off the schedule and us trying to become the best version of ourselves.
And you mentioned Tyler Hughes, the quarterback. Can you talk about him a little more? He's a dual threat guy that can run and pass. I mean, I know you saw Isaiah Freeman from Hampton. He ran the ball more than he threw it, but this guy does it equally as well.
Yeah, I mean, he can beat you with his feet, definitely, but if we allow somebody to get behind us, he can make us pay for that. So he's a true dual-threat quarterback, and best guy we faced this year as far on our level as far as that. So it's going to be a tremendous challenge for us. We got to keep him contained, make sure we have we're in our rush lanes and have good rush lane integrity and keep the ball in front of us. So, anytime you play a dual-threat quarterback, you have to prepare for that. But guess what? William and Mary has to prepare for a dual-threat quarterback too.
True. Running the football, we talked about that. I mean, from a numbers perspective, it looks like it could be some opportunities there. Numbers. What has to be different this week to get your running game on track?
We got to get a hat on a hat, get some movement up front, and when our runners get in a one-on-one situation, they got to win. A lot of times people neglect to talk about that. If you're getting the running back up to the free safety and he's making a tackle, then that's the running back's fault. That's a minus for him because that's the one guy that we can't block or, some plays it's 2 guys that we can't block, and you got to be your own blocker, and you got to make people miss or run through their face or whatever. That's what good running backs do. So it's going to be a collective effort by everybody. We got to get a hat on a hat. We got to get some movement. Can't allow any negative plays, and our runners got to be the runners that they're capable of being.
And I know you had mentioned nobody, maybe a couple of weeks ago, nobody had really separated themselves. And that's what you want to see. You want to see you got 4 really good running backs. You wanted to see someone separate themselves. I guess to this point, has that happened or not really?
No.
Okay.
It hasn't happened there, and they're all working hard and competing, but, my mentality is if I'm a running back, y'all going to get in when I get tired.
Right.
And the thing about it is when one guy has separated himself from everybody else, those guys know, and it's really no problem. But right now we're all even and we're all good, and that's not a bad thing,
right.
Because all 3 of the guys that we got right now can play, JT and Blizz and Wesley, but somebody needs to separate themselves. And if they can do that, then that means they become a special running back, because those guys are good right now, but nobody's special, and we need special running backs at A&T. That's been the history of this university.
Coach Gibbs, any last words?
Again, I'm proud of the way that the guys fought. Also, thank you to everybody that took the flight with us up there or showed up in Maine. That support was definitely good to hear. Have some Aggies all the way up in Maine. It was, a unique experience.
It was.
But it was fun, and I'm just looking forward to us going out and competing and playing the way we're capable of playing. Let's stop coming close. Let's be the best version of ourselves.
I did say last words. Was that your first time in Maine?
Yes, and hopefully last.
So did you get any lobster or anything like that?
No, I didn't. We were at the airport, so.
Yeah. Yeah, we were. All right, give it up for Sean Gibbs, the head football coach of the Aggies, joining us here on the Coaches Show. Up next, we've got Tim Alderman and Elijah Kennedy. Welcome back to the Coaches Show. Again, up next for the Aggies, William and Mary on Saturday in Williamsburg, Virginia. Should be a good game, more CAA action, and we're very much looking forward to that. Of course, Sean Gibbs, the head football coach of the Aggies, joined us in the last segment. In this segment, we'll talk to a couple of student athletes. First of all, we're going to say, and I gotta say this, and we've been doing this probably 9 years or so. I don't think I've ever, not that we haven't wanted to, but ever requested a player. But I requested this young man in particular. He's having a dynamite season. Been following him since his days at Fort Valley State. Tim Alderman, who joins us here on the Coaches Show. What's going on, Tim?
What's going on?
It just has phenomenal statistics, has had a sack in every game except one, had 9 tackles in the game against Maine, a tackle for loss, and a half a sack. Just your thoughts on the game, Tim, and just coming up short there against Maine.
We played a good game. We could have played way better, of course. We got to do better starting fast, but, we played a good game, showed a good fight, but we got to come out on top. We got to come out with a victory.
And what's sort of that going to take to kind of get into that mode? Because, again, a couple of close games when you think about – Hampton was a win, close game. Tennessee State, close game. Maine, close game. What is it going to take to get over the hump like you did against Hampton?
As players, I think we just got to start the week off better with preparation, starting practice fast, finishing practice fast so it could translate over to the game, and I think we'll be okay.
I mean, we see number one on the field a lot, 9 tackles. In the game, had the tackle for loss, the half a sack. Just your thoughts on your performance.
I feel like I played a good game. My teammates and my coaches put me in position to play good, so that's just a result of them trusting me and me trusting them.
Can I take you back to the Hampton game in particular, because you think it was in overtime? You and your teammate now, but former teammate at Fort Valley State, Mr. Hood. Boy, you guys had a couple of quarterback hurries which were key to that victory. Can you speak to that game? But like I said, in that moment in the overtime period, putting the pressure on the quarterback.
Well, we know the game It's 4 quarters or however long it takes. You got to give effort. All 4 quarters or however long it takes. So we knew we had to keep playing hard, and that's all it was.
Do you feel like when it calls for the biggest moments that your motor gets going a little bit more, you step up a little bit more?
Yes, I feel like I just dig deeper. It's something I just dig deeper, and I just keep fighting because I know the team is relying on me, and I'm relying on my teammates. So I just dig a little deeper.
How have you made the transition from, and like I said, I mean, and if you think about the numbers, I forget what the numbers were, but you had over 100 tackles in your career at Fort Valley State. I think it was 23 sacks or something, 30-something tackles for loss in, 3 or 4 seasons? I mean, those are some really, really good numbers. Now you're playing up, right? How have you made the transition from Fort Valley State to A&T?
It's been a good transition. I've been put around good teammates who motivate me. I've been put around good coaches who motivate me. So it's been a smooth transition, and I feel good.
No doubt. Talk about your relationship with Coach Gibbs, who recruited you right there in Fort Valley, as a matter of fact, where Fort Valley State is, and then you making the decision to come with him here to A&T.
Ever since I met Coach Gibbs, everything has been I've heard nothing but good. So he's a great coach. He brought the coach, defensive coordinator from Fort Valley as well. So I'm playing under him. So I've trusted them at Fort Valley. I trust them here, and everything is going smooth. We just got to turn this around.
We got plenty of season left to play, but I want to ask this because, seen a lot of football here at A&T. Coach Gibbs kind of confirmed it that, you're a guy maybe that could play on Sundays, right? So just kind of your thoughts on we got plenty of games to play. I get that, but just the possibility of that, particularly if you keep excelling the way you have.
That'll be great to play on Sundays. I just got to keep working, put my head down, keep working, finish the season strong, and if that comes, it'll come, and I'll show up.
Any thoughts? I don't know if you've seen any early film on William and Mary.
I haven't seen them yet. I know they're a good football team, but we're gonna get in the film room, see what we need to do, get a game plan together, and work hard throughout the week, and we'll be ready Saturday.
Any thought? I don't know. So you hadn't seen him, so you're not familiar with Tyler Hughes, the quarterback. He's a dual threat guy.
Nah, I'm not familiar yet, but I'm definitely about to watch film this whole week on him. We'll be ready.
Okay, and then how did Coach Gibbs get you to Fort Valley State? We know how you got here, but how did he get you to Fort Valley?
I was actually already there before he came, but
Okay.
when he came, he was a great coach. So when he came here, I had no problem coming with him.
And staying at Fort Valley.
Yeah, yes, sir.
What's your major, and what do you hope to do with that when your football playing days are over?
My major right now is environmental health and safety. I'm not sure what I want to do with that yet, but I also have a bachelor's already in agriculture, engineering, technology as well. So, I got options. I'm gonna try to get into something. I'm not sure yet though.
Okay, very cool. Give it up for Tim Alderman, of course, defensive end for the Aggies, joining us here on the Coaches Shows. We're going to get ready to transition here to our next student athlete. Want to remind everyone, hope everyone's making the trip up to Williamsburg as the Aggies going to take on the tribe of William and Mary. It's a 3:30 kickoff. We're coming on with the pregame show at 3 p.m. Well, this gentleman, boy, he's done some really good things in the program, has progressed in the program, had an 85-yard punt return for a touchdown, a 60-yard reception, returned 3 kickoffs in the game, wide receiver, kick returner, punt returner. Elijah Kennedy joining us here on the Coaches Show. I think this is your first time with us, Elijah, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, welcome to the Coaches Show.
Thank you.
Like I asked Tim, your thoughts on the a tough game against Maine. Tough game against Maine.
Yeah, it was tough. It's always tough to lose, but we seen the fight at the end of the game as a team, and we're just moving forward, looking forward to getting the win in the CAA.
When I saw you, even though he did it in a different capacity, you reminded me of another number 88. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Malik Wilson, who returned a bunch of kickoffs for touchdowns during his career. Take us through that 85-yard punt return for the touchdown and what you saw. You had a convoy for the next 50 yards. I mean, it was some really good blocking there for that too.
I would say it just came down to our preparation at practice. We practiced blocking, we practiced being in the right spot so we could break one, and it came down to everybody being in the right spots and blocking, and we took it home.
And then the 60-yard reception that you had from Kevin White. Kind of take us through that. Well, you got some jets.
Yes, sir. I should have scored it, but it was just game plan. Got the ball, and I seen open grass, and I just took off. So, great pass from Kevin, and yeah.
It's obviously not the same thing, but you do both in terms of punt returns and kick returns. Do you like either better, or you like them equally?
I like them all.
Okay. And so take us through the difference, in terms of what you have to see, the blocking schemes, all of that between punt return and kick return.
I feel like the difference is just the way the ball comes off the foot, and then catching it, of course, and then the way your block's set up on kickoff return. It's just the blocks come and converge to you closer, and punt return, you kind of got to set up your blocks a little bit more.
Because if I remember, you mostly did kick returns in the past, and more so equally both this year. Just kind of talk about that. Was that something they asked you to do in terms of from a punt return perspective in terms of doing that this year?
I've always wanted to do both, and it just came to the point where I could get on the field and help the team in any way I could, and punt return just presented itself. So,
and then being a part of this offense that was able to move the ball, obviously against Maine. Just kind of your thoughts. You're getting more incorporated and getting more looks in the offense.
It's just working into the starting lineup and being able to contribute to the team in any way I can on the offensive side of the ball, and just our game plan.
Well, how have you progressed at your time here at A&T? Because you're making, not that you haven't made a significant contribution, you're making even more of a contribution in 2025.
Just putting in the work. I've progressed pretty well over the course of the years. I didn't come in being the star of the team, so I had to work continuously to get to where I am now, and I'm going to continue to work. To be the best version of myself.
Apologies, because part of that is just it's just an outstanding, really wide receiver core. So you had to put in your work to get into the position that you're in now, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you speak to the core, maybe the brotherhood that's there also?
Yeah, it's a great brotherhood in our core. We all love each other. We play for each other, and it's a great group of guys. Like it's no one, two, three. It's all, everybody can compete. So.
Redshirt junior from High Point. How did you end up here at A&T?
It just I seen the opportunity to come here as a walk-on, and I talked to Coach Barnett when he was here, and he gave me the opportunity at the end of my freshman year to walk onto the team. And I've always known about A&T. I always heard about A&T being from High Point and being local, so it just felt like the right place to come and see if I could get an opportunity to get on the field.
Were there some other opportunities, maybe other schools, that you could have gone to out of high school?
Yeah, it was some D3s, some D2s, and a couple preferred walk-ons at other schools. But I felt way more drawn to A&T as a whole, as a school and as a football team.
And then what's your major, and what do you hope to do with that when your football playing days are over?
Right now I'm in the master's program, data analytics, and I have an undergrad in sports management, kinesiology, and I plan on going into the sports analytics field and furthering that, going into like being a GM, something like that.
Give it up for one of the top return specialists in the CAA in the country, Elijah Kennedy, return specialist, wide receiver, joining us here on the Coaches Show. That's about going to wrap it up. Want to remind you that we're at Zabel Stadium. It's a 3:30 kickoff against William & Mary. CAA play continues on Saturday. We're coming on with the pregame show at 3 p.m. Locally, 103.5 FM, 1400 AM. You can also listen on the Sirius XM app this week, as well as TobaccoRoadSportsRadio.com. We'll see you next week.